If you have diabetes, you should avoid all sugars, right? Wrong, because in the last 30 days, thousands of incurable folks have used this weird red sugar hack to drop their blood sugar by up to 83 points, while their doctors watched in disbelief.
Just wow! This red sugar hack dropped my readings from 298 to 113 in just weeks.
My blood sugar levels went from 347 to 120 points.
My blood sugar started to normalize after the first day. Today, for the first time in years, I actually ate an entire pizza by myself and I feel great.
After 17 years of having type 2, my doctor says I'm completely healthy. I'm finally free again.
Here's what's happening. A maverick military doctor accidentally proved that you can actually flush out erratic blood sugar by eating more sugar. It sounds crazy, but this has nothing to do with table sugar, brown sugar, or anything like that. Instead, it's something completely new that's backed by the latest studies from top universities like Harvard and Stanford, where thousands of patients have used it even to quit metformin for good. And scientists say it's guaranteed to work for anyone. Just add 1 teaspoon of this red sugar to your coffee, tea, or pancakes and watch your blood sugar stabilize overnight. If you're tired of having to say no to all the pasta, pizza, and desserts while everyone around is happily feasting and enjoying life, if you're tired of feeling like a slave to medications and tired of letting doctors dictate the way you live your life, then keep watching. Because the solution you're about to discover is not a new diet or some new medication that comes with a mile-long list of side effects. Instead, it's something totally safe and natural, backed by over 64 medical studies and clinically proven to work every single time. Because it targets the real root cause of your blood sugar problems, something that has nothing to do with genetics, insulin resistance, or how much sugar you eat. Instead, it all comes down to a forgotten, leaky organ, which is not your gut, pancreas, or kidneys. That is now flooding your body with toxic glucose, leading to sharp blood sugar spikes that can trigger nerve pain, kidney damage, vision loss, heart attacks, or even a diabetic coma. New studies from Harvard, Stanford, and Yale University show that this leaky organ is the real hidden culprit in every single person with erratic blood sugar. And it's now making it impossible for you to control your levels, even if you eat no carbs or sugar at all. And I'll show why this happens in a second. But the good news is, a solution now exists. And it's so easy, it may surprise you. I'm talking about a weird red sugar hack that instantly helps to plug your forgotten leaky organ, dropping your blood sugar back to healthy levels, while banishing any blood sugar complications for good. Now, if you're feeling skeptical, believe me, I was too, until I saw the rock-solid scientific research by Harvard, Stanford, and Yale University, which proves why this solution is so effective. No matter your age, if blood sugar issues run in your family, or if you've struggled with erratic blood sugar for 20 days or 20 years. This is the same solution that reversed my erratic blood sugar, saving my life, while allowing me to erase 47 pounds of nagging fat, reclaiming my energy, making me look and feel almost 20 years younger. Just like it also did for over 37,400 lucky folks who stumbled across this life-changing video.
I was amazed when my doctor told me that my blood sugar is basically perfect and I don't need meds anymore. I've lost 37 pounds, my energy levels are through the roof. I feel like I've been given a second chance at life.
I'm 63, and I've struggled with erratic blood sugar for 17 years. My blood sugar started to normalize after the first day. Today, for the first time in years, I actually ate an entire pizza by myself, and I feel great. No more blood sugar spikes and crashes.
My blood sugar levels went from 347 to 120 points. I thought I was doomed to a life of insulin shots and diet. This solution gave me my life back. My eyes are getting sharper by the day. I no longer struggle with nerve pain and bathroom issues.
Just take a second and imagine how it would feel waking up in just 1 week from now, checking your glucose monitor, and realizing that your blood sugar is now perfect every single morning. Imagine going back to enjoying delicious chocolate cake, pasta, pizza without getting nagged to remember your blood sugar, or playing with your grandkids for hours without feeling tired or winded, or shocking your doctor as he looks at your blood work and realizes that you defeated erratic blood sugar. Imagine finally being free of the nauseating medications and free to live the vibrant, worry-free life you deserve. First, I have to warn you. The solution I'm about to share today threatens to put the $132 billion diabetes industry out of business. Right now, big pharma CEOs are doing everything they can to take down this video. So keep watching before it's too late, because in the next few minutes, you're about to discover the simple solution that allowed me and thousands of others to safely reverse erratic blood sugar levels in just 20 seconds a day. Plus, you'll also discover the popular blood sugar pill that could actually grow cancer inside your body, yet 85% of Americans are taking it. A tasty gin-soaked candy discovered in a remote European land where diabetes virtually doesn't exist, and how it can drop your blood sugar by 40% according to new studies. Why people who follow the keto diet still struggle with diabetes even though they eat no carbs or sugar. The 21-word Bible verse that saved my leg from amputation in 3 weeks. One toxic veggie hiding in your kitchen right now that can trigger a diabetic coma. I'll also show you all the scientific studies that prove everything I'm telling you. Are you ready? Hi, my name's Jack Thompson. Now, I'm no doctor, scientist, or fitness expert here to give you a lecture on healthy living. I'm just a 63-year-old rancher from South Texas with a remarkable story that I know is going to change your life. See, just a few months ago, I was a proud grandpa of 3, living on my ranch with my beautiful wife, Sarah. 40 years together. We had the kind of love that only grows stronger with time. On Sundays, we'd head to church and then gather for a big family barbecue. I'd fire up the grill for juicy steaks, ribs, and sausages, grandkids running around laughing. I felt like the luckiest man in Texas. But little did I know, something was about to turn my world upside down. Out of nowhere, I felt so sluggish, and I got a weird tingling in my feet. One morning I was out fixing a fence and got so dizzy I nearly fell flat on my face. And a visit to my doctor revealed something unexpected. Diabetes type 2. I couldn't believe it. Me, the guy who could still outwork fellas half my age? How was that possible? I mean, I was mainly eating steaks, bacon, and eggs, foods with basically no carbs, so how the heck did I get diabetes? Suddenly I had to check my glucose levels 3 times a day, say goodbye to the few desserts I allowed myself on special occasions, and juggle 3 types of medication. For how long, I asked my doctor. For the rest of your life, Jack, there's no cure for diabetes. And the horrible thing was that even though I was obsessing over every single carb, eating food so bland it would make a hospital cafeteria look like a 5-star restaurant, and doing everything the doctor said, my blood sugars kept going up. And soon my muscles started turning soft and flabby. Even my vision was getting blurry. I felt like I was chained up in my own body. Every night, dark thoughts consumed my mind. What if I don't wake up tomorrow? What if I leave Sarah alone? Just the thought of leaving my wife, kids, and grandkids alone, it broke me. And it didn't matter how hard I was trying. From being a loving husband, admired grandfather, and a pillar of my community, I was about to become the sick, old diabetic who could drop dead any minute. But little did I know, things were about to get even worse. It all happened on our 40th wedding anniversary. Sarah and I went out to our favorite steakhouse. We were laughing and holding hands across the table like 2 teenagers. I even ordered a small slice of their famous chocolate cake. After months of dieting, 1 little slice couldn't hurt. But as I took my second bite, a strange sensation washed over me. My vision began to blur. My heart was racing wildly. I tried to stand up, but my legs gave out. Next thing I knew, I was on the floor with Sarah screaming my name.
Somebody! Call an ambulance! Wake up, Jack. Please wake up.
And then, everything went black. 4 hours later, I woke up in the hospital, and the doctor's words hit me harder than any punch I've ever taken. Mr. Thompson, you're lucky to be alive. Your blood sugar was 474. If it doesn't drop in the next 30 days, we'll have to amputate your leg. What? Lose my leg? How in God's green earth did I end up here? Just a few months ago, everything was fine. But there I was, lying in a cold hospital bed hooked up to machines just to keep me alive. And even though this near-death experience led me to discover the natural solution that saved thousands of lives, including mine, at that moment, all I could think of were the precious moments I'll miss. My daughter's wedding day, her dad not being able to walk her down that aisle. My grandkids never get to sit on their grandpa's knee again. And my beautiful Sarah, having to wheel around what's left of the man she married. I was so ashamed of letting down every single person I loved. I was furious at my doctor and all the failed medications, and I was scared. My diabetes was about to steal not just my leg, but everything that made life worth living. Right then, I needed a miracle. And little did I know, one was about to come right to my doorstep. That night, I couldn't sleep. I needed something to calm my mind. So I opened my mother's Bible, the one she'd given me on her deathbed, and my eyes landed on a verse that jumped out at me. You need to persevere so that when you have done the will of God, you will receive what He has promised. Hebrews 10:36. Well, those words hit me like a ton of bricks. Sure, I tried every solution out there, but maybe if I just keep pushing and put my faith in God, I would find a solution. So that's what I did. The next day, I went to the local university library and started reading every single article, book, or study. And what I discovered about diabetes medications was shocking. First of all, remember metformin? Just recently, Big Pharma tried to cover up a deadly chemical found in a huge batch of metformin that was linked to higher risks of cancer. And those insulin shots I was forced to take? In a 2020 study, diabetics on insulin died earlier than those who didn't take it. Imagine paying up to $15,000 each year on a medication that will actually make you die younger. And even though this was insane, I also had another question. I've always been told that carbs are bad for blood sugar. So why did I get diabetes even though I was eating steak, eggs, and foods with little to no carbs? And then I went online and found many stories from people who got diabetes while doing keto, which is a diet that removes all carbs and sugar. Yet nobody seemed to know why. So why do people who never eat carbs or sugar still get diabetes? I didn't know it back then, but I was getting closer to discovering the natural classified solution that reversed my diabetes in just weeks. The next day I woke up. It was Sunday, and even though I was bone tired, something told me to go to church. Thank God I did, because when I arrived, the pastor introduced me to the man that saved my life. His name was Dr. Ethan Hawk Wilson. He served as an Army surgeon in war zones, where he patched up more soldiers than you could count. And even though he was in his late 60s, he had the vitality of someone half his age. Hey, Jack, Pastor Jim told me about your health troubles. Look, why don't we meet for breakfast tomorrow? I might have something for you. Well, little did I know, after serving in the Army, Dr. Hawk had become a certified diabetes specialist. He now has a small clinic where he helps Army vets with diabetes and other chronic conditions. So I accepted his invite. The next day, I went to Dr. Hawk's home for breakfast. But as soon as I entered his kitchen, I noticed that the table was stacked with pancakes covered in a red, thick syrup. I don't think I can eat any of those, I told him. He just let out a hearty laugh. Then he stuck a finger in that thick red syrup. That's what most people think, he said. See this stuff, Jack? This is actually the answer you've been looking for. Then Dr. Hawk told me something that blew my mind. Jack, I know everyone has told you that sugar and carbs are the bad guys and that you'll be on meds forever. But did you know the first insulin shot was given in 1922? That's right. So why are we using the same old stuff from 100 years ago? And why are diabetes cases at an all-time high, even though we're actually eating less sugar and carbs and taking more medications than ever before? Because the truth is, everyone is looking in the wrong place. And here's why your blood sugar struggles are just not your fault. You see, Jack, the root cause of erratic blood sugar is actually not your genetics, your diet, or your insulin levels. Instead, top Yale University scientists just revealed that the real culprit of high blood sugar is actually a forgotten leaky organ inside your body. That has nothing to do with your gut, pancreas, or kidneys. This sneaky organ makes up 90% of the blood sugar inside your body. But when it gets damaged, the organ can flood your body with toxic glucose, spiking your blood sugar overnight and skyrocketing your risks of deadly complications, even if you take your meds or follow your doctor's advice like gospel. So what is this leaky organ? Well, it's actually your liver. And while you may know a little about your liver and blood sugar, here's the part that even your doctor misses, because it was just discovered in the latest studies, stuff that's not even public yet. You see, when your liver is working properly, it produces blood sugar through a process called gluconeogenesis, which literally means sugar creation. Then it releases this sugar bit by bit, giving your body the energy it needs. But here's where things get scary. After looking at the liver health of 360 blood sugar patients in my clinic, I discovered that in all of them, the process of sugar creation was broken. Their livers went into overdrive, making way too much blood sugar. And when the liver can't store all this new sugar anymore, it starts leaking excess blood sugar in your body, spiking your glucose levels overnight. Experts now call this condition diabetic leaky liver. You see, Jack, liver's just like a faucet that controls the flow of your blood sugar. Imagine you've got a broken faucet that won't stop dripping. At first, it's just a few drops until your sink fills up. Then water spills onto your floor, and soon enough, your whole house is flooded with water. Well, the same thing happens when you have a leaky liver. First, the excess sugar leaks into your blood until it starts flooding your entire body, damaging your internal organs, leading to stuff like vision loss, nerve pain, heart attacks, or memory loss. And new research proved that this is happening inside every single person with any kind of erratic blood sugar, because the liver controls every single blood sugar function. So even if you're struggling with your pancreas, your kidneys, or insulin resistance, your diabetic leaky liver is actually the real culprit behind all of these. Yale University scientists even revealed that a diabetic leaky liver can instantly trigger blood sugar spikes, lower your insulin production, causing diabetes in millions of people over 35. And the American Diabetes Association revealed that insulin shots are 16 times less effective against diabetic leaky liver, meaning that even medications can't fix this. Harvard scientists even discovered that a diabetic leaky liver can lead to sharp blood sugar spikes that can permanently damage your eyes, kidneys, heart, and brain. Plus, the liver can turn even non-carb foods into glucose. So even if you cut out all the carbs and sugar, you can still struggle with life-threatening blood sugar spikes. Here's why people who do keto can still get diabetes. My heart was racing, thinking about all the damage already happening inside my body. But everything now made sense. The real cause of erratic blood sugar was a diabetic leaky liver, and even medications or a perfect diet can't fix this. Dr. Hawk, but why does this happen? I asked. Well, Jack, that's the scary part. The liver is like your body's filter system. Every single day, we're exposed to more than 80,000 pollutants, chemicals, and toxins. And it's your liver's job to remove these toxic chemicals. This means that your liver is severely damaged and overworked right now. These toxic chemicals are everywhere, so there's no way to avoid them. Then, Dr. Hawk grabbed an old dented can of green beans and held it up like evidence in a court case. Look, even these canned green beans are terrible for your blood sugar. You see, most canned foods are packed with something called BPA, a nasty chemical that can disrupt your liver, causing erratic blood sugar. In fact, when BPA production increased in the 1950s, blood sugar problems skyrocketed. And this is not a coincidence. BPA is also linked with higher cancer risks, and it's everywhere. Walk through any grocery store and you'll find BPA-infected products in 9 out of 10 aisles. Veggies, bottled beverages, even the receipts are loaded with BPA. At that moment, I was completely shocked. But I had one last question. Dr. Hawk, there's got to be a way to fix this, right? Dr. Hawk gave me this knowing smile. Then he grabbed a bottle of his mysterious red syrup and said, "Believe it or not, the solution you need is inside this." Suddenly, his face got more serious. "You know, Jack, ever since I left the Army, I've been on a mission. I lost my dad to diabetes when I was just 11 years old, and medications made his last years miserable. I swore I'd find a better way so nobody else would have to go through what he did. And believe me, I literally looked everywhere. I read every study, I tested every single natural solution. After trying and failing for 7 years, I was this close to throwing in the towel. Until I discovered something that changed everything. One night, I stumbled across a unique sweet fruit that some people call nature's candy. It comes from Norway in Northern Europe, where people have 3 times lower diabetes rates than the US, even though they eat carbs like potatoes, pasta, and bread daily. It's often used in gin, and according to a 2023 study from the prestigious Journal of Medical Food, this nature's candy can plug your diabetic leaky liver, flush out excess sugar from your blood, and drop erratic blood sugar by an astonishing 39%. That's right, 39%. And according to studies from the National Institute of Health, it can do all of this in just a couple weeks. This nature's candy is called juniper fruit. But here's the thing, you can't just eat it. If you want to get the best results possible, you have to combine it with 2 other ingredients. One of them is glucose dropping berry that was used for over 1,200 years in Chinese medicine. This berry is backed by more than 44 studies. It can help repair a leaky liver while stabilizing erratic blood sugar. According to top UK scientists, this glucose dropping berry can drop high blood sugar levels by 22%, which is like dropping your blood sugar by a whopping 40 points. Even better, this berry works incredibly fast because it can stabilize blood sugar in just 2 hours without side effects. It can also help to melt fat, enhance your heart health, and crush your risks of diabetes complications. Its scientific name is mulberry. But that's not all, because the 3rd ingredient is the most potent of all. It's an Indian flower that was used for over 3,000 years to tackle type 2. And here's the funny part. Some people actually use it in desserts. Here's why I call it the Indian sweet flower. Now, dozens of studies from Harvard, Stanford, and Oxford University show how it works its magic on blood sugar. But what really stood out to me was a small study most people have never heard about, where scientists gave patients this Indian sweet flower before dinner. And the results were shocking. Almost every single patient saw their blood sugar drop, and not by 10 points or even 20 points. The Indian sweet flower dropped their blood sugar by a whopping 83 points. You heard that right, 83 points. That's enough to go from diabetic to completely healthy levels. And in a 2020 study, this Indian sweet flower stabilized blood sugar levels so much that many patients got off their prescription meds. This Indian sweet leaf is called Harip loca of the woods. So that's what's inside this syrup, Jack. It's just berries, fruits, and plants. The real magic is how they work together. Now, as soon as I got home, I was more excited than a little kid on Christmas Eve. I started using Dr. Hawk's red syrup the very next morning, drizzling it over my pancakes. On day 1, something felt different. My blood sugar was the same, but I actually had some energy, so I just kept using it. But what happened next totally blew my mind. After a week, I checked my numbers, and my blood sugar went from 205 to 121. I couldn't believe my eyes. I'd never seen my morning readings that low. But that was just the beginning. 2 weeks later, my blood sugar was 110 every morning. At my monthly checkup, my doctor's jaw practically hit the floor. He told me that my blood sugar was perfect, and he canceled my amputation. For the first time in months, I was finally free from my nauseating medications, from the fatigue, cravings, and nagging blood sugar spikes, and from the paralyzing fear of leaving my loved ones alone. Suddenly, I had the energy of my younger self. I could actually keep up with all the hard work on the ranch. I went back to playing with my 3 loved grandkids for hours, and Sarah, well, we started taking our evening walks again, holding hands just like when we first fell in love, knowing that my diabetes would no longer threaten to tear us apart. Everything was perfect. Well, almost perfect. Because that's when I ran into a pretty big problem. After just a few weeks, I was running low on Dr. Hawk's red syrup. I tried to make it myself, but the ingredients were impossible to find. I even looked into buying supplements with the same ingredients, but none of them had Dr. Hawk's special ratio that made it work so well. So, I desperately called Dr. Hawk. Dr. Hawk, I'm running out of red syrup. Please tell me you have some more. Hey, Jack, forget about the syrup. I found something even better at my clinic, he replied. After burning the midnight oil for days on end, Dr. Hawk discovered 4 new ingredients that, when combined with his original 3, created what he called a nutritional synergy that made the new mix 8 times more powerful than the original one. The first ingredient was banaba, a potent Asian leaf that helps plug a leaky liver. In clinical studies, people saw their blood sugar drop just 1 hour after taking it. Some even dropped 14 pounds in just a few weeks. Then Dr. Hawk added yarrow plant, a yellow flower that stabilizes liver functions, boosts insulin production, and controls blood sugar effortlessly. He also included bitter melon. According to studies from the Food Science and Biotechnology Journal, bitter melon can help safely drop blood sugar in just 30 minutes. Last but not least, Dr. Hawk included alpha-lipoic acid, a unique antioxidant that helps purify the liver and stabilize the process of sugar creation. Better yet, Dr. Hawk discovered that mixing these ingredients in a specific ratio can instantly help reverse your diabetic leaky liver, eliminating the root cause of erratic blood sugar while repairing the damage that high blood sugar caused to your eyes, nerves, kidneys, brain, and heart, healing your body at the cellular level and crushing your risk of type 2 complications. Then he put this formula together into a small, easy-to-swallow capsule. Now, if I thought the red syrup was amazing, this new formula took things to a whole new level. As soon as I started taking it, my blood sugar levels totally stabilized. I even got to enjoy Sarah's famous peach cobbler again. Even better, one day I stepped on the scale and realized that I've lost 47 pounds from my belly, love handles, and chest. My liver scan also proved that my diabetic leaky liver was completely reversed and all that damage from years of high blood sugar, gone. But even though my transformation is incredible, I wasn't the only one. Because after seeing my results, Dr. Hawk and I gathered 450 men and women of all ages, some just starting to have blood sugar issues, others who had been diabetics for 20 years. We gave them all a 180-day supply and asked them to keep track of their progress. I figured we'd have to wait a while to hear anything back, but just after 1 week, my phone started blowing up with calls from everyone in the study. They were telling me their blood sugar started to drop almost overnight. After just 60 days, 446 out of 450 had completely reversed their diabetic leaky liver. Their internal organs were in perfect condition. They lost an average of 21 pounds of fat. They experienced better memory, lower blood pressure, and healthier cholesterol levels, adding an extra 10 years to their lives. At this point, we knew we had to share this solution with the entire world. the button below and take the first step towards the diabetes-free life you deserve. This is Jack Thompson. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to hearing your success story soon.